Four ordinary guys with extraordinary ideas for Disney parks. This is Main Street Musings,
the experimental podcast of tomorrow.
That's right, everybody. Welcome back to Main Street Musings, the experimental podcast of tomorrow. And I blanked.
My name is
Brock, and joining me today... Oh, it looks like hippos are trying to charge, but don't worry, he only takes cash. It's Skipper Tanner.
Hello.
And coming up on our right, look everybody, it's the world-famous backside of water. Thanks, Skipper Jake.
Hey there, hi there, ho there.
And, well, this fella's our head salesman in the jungle. It's Trader Eric.
Hello.
We are talking about Jungle Cruise today. Why? Maybe there's a movie. I couldn't tell you. And also, I'd like to
make a movie about Jungle Cruise, guys. That doesn't seem like a good idea at all.
Hopefully Disney would do it. Otherwise, there's some lawsuits going on. Also,
who would just take a ride that doesn't really have a narrative and just turn it into a movie?
Again, Disney would do that. Like they did before. A few times, but we only remember the one.
Nah, I think it'll be fun.
I like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the... Oh, and yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, the first time they did it, they caught lightning in a bottle, and it was awesome.
What makes you guys think that was the first time?
Well,
the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror telly movie did not go well.
Oh, that was great. I don't know what you're talking about, Brock. I love that movie.
You know what? Fair on me, because I have not seen it.
The Haunted Mansion movie, was that before or after Pirates?
After.
It was after Pirates, right? Okay. Yeah.
That was when they're like, we did a Pirates of the Caribbean movie and it worked.
So why can't we do every ride?
The sky's the limit now.
I cannot wait for the It's a Small World movie franchise.
Oh, yeah. It's just different countries of like 90 minutes of their children singing It's a Small World in their native language. We're starting out in Slovenia. So we're going to be destroying Jungle Cruise today. That's correct, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
Is the plan.
Nice. Because I didn't have anything good for making it better.
Well, that's the thing is, honestly, it's one of those classic rides. It's one of my absolute favorite rides. It's hard to make better. Disney is currently making some changes, which I do think are for the better. There was some problematic imagery on the ride, some stuff that came off a little bit, frankly, racist.
Outdated stuff, for sure.
Very outdated. But they're updating that, and we've seen some images of what they've done, and it looks great. That being said, I think that's it. I think that's all you can improve this ride, because I love it so much.
I'm sorry if you came to our Destroy Jungle Cruise episode and thought you were going to get a rant on Disney being the PC police or something. That's not what this is, if this is your first time listening. If you just happen to Google that phrase and our episode comes up, no, we're just making jokes about how to make the ride worse.
Yeah.
So on that note, should we dive right into these pitches?
Let's fucking do it, guys. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Jake, you seem very excited. Why don't you go first?
Well, so actually, since I'm going first, that brings the perfect time to ask, Eric, have you listened to our new Magic Kingdom Land episode?
Absolutely not. No, I was very busy this week.
What was your favorite pitch?
Yeah. Who are you going to vote for from that one?
No, I did not listen to it, but I would vote for Brock's Enchanted Forest.
Okay.
Nice. He just looks at the list, see who won.
Yeah. On paper, that looks like the best idea. So that's... I concur with how the vote went with that particular episode.
Yeah, but would you have voted for it when it was called Wildland?
Only if it. Never mind. I won't. Spoil
The Destroy episodes
anything.
normally don't see such a restrained Eric.
Well, that's the thing. Every time I go balls to the walls on these things, everybody tells me this isn't what the Destroy thing's about. You can't put Spider-Man the musical in Big Thunder Mountain. And I'm like I get it, but also
Like, we're not wrong.
These are the episodes where my imagination soars into the unknown realm.
Well, I'm so excited to see what your imagination takes us today.
All right. So, am I still going first? Was that the determination here?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, I have decided that Jungle Cruise obviously should have been changed to a Disney franchise that spawned 6 movies. There were 6 movies in this franchise. 6 feature-length movies and 2 short films, which, of course, I'm talking about the beloved Tinkerbell franchise, wherein we see the origin story of Tinkerbell, where she was born from the first laugh of a baby. And we also go on to learn that her name is Tinkerbell because she's good at tinkering with things when she fixes the old music box. And anyway, I think it would be great for us to ride through in a nice leaf boat through Pixie Hollow, seeing the fairies, the various fairies as they go about their activities of bringing spring to the mainland, the animal fairy and the water fairy and all the fairies just bringing spring. And of course, we would have the Dust Keeper fairy, Terrence, played by Jesse McCartney. He would definitely have to make an appearance
He
somewhere in our
was really
ride.
hot in the early 2000s.
What are you talking about? He's so hot now. Have you seen Dust Keeper? I assume he plays that role in live action, despite the rest of the film being CGI.
And of course, we would also be able to work in like the Never Beast, and we could see an animatronic of him, perhaps. Yeah, I think it would be great. That's my pitch. Tinkerbell, the franchise.
Nice. That's a good one. I like that. We're off to a strong start. I'm going to go second because it. That's what I want to do.
Eric Hand.
I mean, I randomly generated myself as second for this. We are. So, my pitch, I couldn't go back and I find the episode exactly, but there was a Jungle Cruise lightning round early on in our production, and my idea for that was generally poo-pooed. But
Would you like to remind the audience why it was poo-pooed?
well, it's my pitch today, so they can make the decision for themselves.
Great.
I wanted to bring it back and see what you guys thought about it in a new context for Jungle Cruise. So my pitch for destroying Jungle Cruise / making it infinitely better is taking us to Wayne Zielinski's lab in his house, and we are going to do Honey, We Shrunk the Jungle Cruise people, and by that I mean it's just a Honey, We Shrunk the Guests ride. But so we end up in the Zielinski's house, and we're on like a little mini thing, like I don't know, some kind of vehicle. We can work that out later. The details are not in the vehicle. The details are in the experience as we enter the Zielinski's backyard. A hose has been turned on, and we are floating down the water of the hose as it sprays into the backyard, and the Jungle Cruise has just become an enlarged version of the Zelensky's backyard. So there's like grass growing up. We may run into a beetle or an ant or two that are like comically large. And then and we get all the way back there, and we are blown up at the end, taking us back into the real
Not
world.
exploded. We are enlarged.
Yeah, that's what they call it, Brock. And every time they do it, they make that joke.
Remember, Honey, I Blew Up the Baby was one of the sequels.
Yeah.
So Eric,
I thought that was a very different
I would
movie.
like to interject that is a great idea, and that was not your idea in the lightning round. I believe that was Tanner or Brock's idea. Your idea was poo-pooed because you pitched that we got shrunk down to the size of molecules and were injected into somebody's bloodstream.
Yeah, that was my
That's what
idea
you
in the
wanted.
lightning pitch there, bud.
Yeah, mine was to shrink down the entire Jungle Cruise and just add giant feet and stuff.
You know, okay. I think we're finally even, because y'all always accuse me of stealing Eric's idea when what I did was take some elements of his parade and put them into an animatronic show. But here boy comes talking about how his idea was the exact same as mine and just lying to the audience about it.
Brock, I don't necessarily disagree with your statement there, but I will give Eric the benefit of the doubt that it's been a while since we recorded that episode. Whereas when you stole word for word my lightning round pitch, that was approximately less than 30 seconds after.
Because my internet broke up and I couldn't hear you.
Oh my
And
gosh,
when you
there's
did
always
the
an
parade,
excuse.
it was literally the next episode.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
that was 3 episodes later. So there.
Hey,
And
why
I
don't you
forget
quit your
things.
bitching and just make your pitch? I think Brock's going next, isn't he?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
randomly
okay, good.
generated.
That feels like cheating. I feel like you cheated there. And therefore, I will just do it anyway because I'm the bigger person. All right. So I was putting myself into the mind of Disney, into the mind of our brilliant, brave, and fearless leader, one Mr. Bob Chapek.
Oh, God.
And you know what I think Bob Chapek values, as we all do? That Disney magic that is vertical integration and synergy.
Oh, no.
So while you're at the Disney parks, I think the main flaw is the lack of advertising for other Disney properties, other Disney endeavors. So I decided that we're going to turn the boring old Jungle Cruise into the Jungle Disney Cruise Line.
Jeez.
So we'll be taking a ride on not those boring old full of character ships, but the new Disney Wish, the Fantasy, the Wonder, and all the other 2 Disney cruise ships. Skippers that talk and tell jokes? No, that just takes away from the majesty of the Disney cruise experience. What is this along our way? Is it elephants bathing? No, it's not that. It's people bathing in our many luxurious pools and considering taking a ride on the Aqueduct. Developed by Disney Imagineers, this elevated water coaster is the first of its kind at sea. Oh, is that rhinos chasing people up a pole? No, it's your friendly cruise director Trent chasing everyone into Cabanas, a novel free-flowing buffet experience serving made-to-order mouth-watering specialties. Oh, is that the backside of water? No, it's just projections of our many stage shows, including, but not limited to, the show about grad night. You know, the experience that only about 3% of the population on a Disney cruise even knows about. I think this is going to be a wonderful and synergistic way to update the Jungle Cruise for a new, more cynical audience.
Is that it? Are you done?
That's my pitch.
Okay.
I'm literally dead right now.
Okay.
I don't understand why. I went with all of your favorite things to complain about.
Tanner, please.
Okay, I'll take
Just
it away.
start talking.
So, any fans of the movie Madagascar here? Well, I have a movie like that, but worse. I am, of course, talking about Disney's 2006 film, The Wild. Guests will board one of the green-slotted shipping containers that take away little lion cub Ryan from the New York Zoo all the way to wherever the fuck they go. And throughout the ride, we will see such iconic scenes and characters like the squirrel that wants to fuck a giraffe and the very New York alligators when we go into the sewer. We will, of course, watch the very exciting shuffleboard game that all of the animals play that is ruined by a stampede. So we also don't get a winner. Don't worry. We will hop aboard as we watch all of these beautiful scenes from the little slots cut out of our shipping container so we can see just enough as we are sitting in the shipping container with, of course, a little... Who doesn't love a on-vehicle animatronic of a little lion cub crying that he misses his dad on board our fully enclosed ride vehicle? That is my pitch for The Wild.
Wow.
Amazing. Holy crap.
Now, this is the first time I feel like all four of us were on the same page with what needed to be done. And I'm proud. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
I'm upset that nobody went like quantumly weird. I guess
always
that's
upset that nobody went quantumly weird.
I guess that's my job. I have to bring that energy from now on, and that's fine. I may never get voted for again in the destroy rounds, but maybe that's just what I need.
It's your cross to bear.
I don't know. I liked that idea when I thought of it, so you're in with a shot.
Q&A time?
Yeah.
All right.
Tanner, I need to hear a little bit. Jake, you can wait. Tanner, I need to hear a little bit more about the squirrel that needs to f*** the giraffe.
I was actually going to ask about that.
All right. So, of course, like every movie needs, Samson the Lion has a best friend that is a squirrel that really wants to fuck this giraffe, is the implication of most of their scenes together. Of course, that is Benny the squirrel, voiced by everyone's favorite beloved actor Jim Belushi, slapping his own butt, talking about how he can ride bareback when he flies around very lasciviously towards the giraffe, played by Bridget, played by Janine Garofalo.
Janine Garofalo, an American treasure. Like, let's be real.
She's great.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Jim
at the
Belushi, also in the movie.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page here about the characters. I have seen the movie. It's terrible, but I had forgot some things, including William Shatner playing the megalomaniacal wildebeest, who's the main antagonist of the film. His plan is to try to change the food chain by eating an animal so that prey become predators.
Oh my god.
That's his plan. I think he's going to eat the kid.
That's part of the...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Also, the wildebeest do a bunch of dance numbers because that's what they spend their free time doing. Also, if we vote for this, Patrick Warburton gets to be on another Disney ride. So,
just that is true.
saying, and we get to maybe be eaten by a wildebeest.
Wow.
Along with the little baby crying lion cub, so far from home.
Wow.
To stay on the subject of The Wild and its behind the scenes professionals, can we also acknowledge that the film was directed by a guy named Spaz? That's his nickname. That's the name he goes by, is Spaz Williams.
I'm looking at the box office to budget on The Wild and just am really glad it didn't make money. I know this cast is stacked. You got Kiefer Sutherland, you got Eddie Izzard, you got Richard Kind, who's always great.
Bing bong.
Well, you say that having not seen The Wild.
Colin Hay. No, I have not seen it. But
It's
your
a
pitch
really
makes me
fun
want it to.
exercise in seeing just how much good actors can phone something in.
So my understanding of The Wild was that it was basically a cross between Madagascar and Finding Nemo.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the plot of It's the plot of Finding Nemo with the characters and setting of Madagascar is essentially what it is.
And then Ryan seems like a weird name for a lion cub. Do you think that's a
Doesn't it?
reference to Saving Private Ryan? Like, were they just trying to just cash in on better movies?
I'm gonna assume yes, just because this
I'm
is a
going to
bad
assume
movie.
that we're going to, if we go with this pitch, find a way to make subtle homages to Saving Private Ryan in The Wild Jungle Cruise ride.
Vin Diesel also dies on this ride.
We can have that really slow death where the guy's pushing the knife into the rib cage and
Yes.
you can hear the bones cracking.
Yeah.
There's some really fun reviews of The Wild that I'm reading right now. I won't get into them, but they're good. Check it out, internet. See what the critics said about this great movie. More questions. I'm sorry. I feel like we derailed there for a second.
That's okay. So, Brock, you mentioned the projections of the shows. Is this literally just going to be footage that they have taken of the shows in the
Yes.
theater and they're just
Projecting it. So where there was once a waterfall,
Yeah.
it's now just going to be a projection screen. And so when you
so
go
it's
by
not even being projected onto the water. It's just being projected onto a screen.
yeah. Oh my gosh,
okay.
Jake. Projecting onto a water, that's so
Sorry.
old school Disney. New school Disney is all about boardrooms.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's
Great.
the lie?
So, Jake,
Yeah.
I do have a question. Since you have so much story to work with and potential on this ride, is this
Such
going to be
deep
kind
lore.
of
I
telling
should
one of the
interject and say that Tinkerbell, the Tinkerbell Wikipedia page, for some reason lists the runtime as if this is all one movie, and it lists it at 468 minutes. So we have a lot to work with here.
Yeah, with
Sorry, go ahead, Tanner.
468 minutes of film to work with, how do we plan on getting a cohesive story into this ride?
I think it would be fun just to be humans that are visiting the fairy world, and we get to float through and see what the fairies are doing at Pixie Hollow, which apparently is a small part of Neverland, as we see them prepare for spring to return to the mainland. And we could see maybe there are some evil fairies at some point that pop up. Let's see if I can remember the evil fairy. His name, it starts with a something. Hang on. I have to look through my notes here. Which one was it in? It wasn't in the
Gripping
original
content.
Tinkerbell. Yeah, thanks.
With the
guys.
magic of editing, it will be.
Oh yeah, in the original Tinkerbell, Vidya is evil and is messing with Tinkerbell because she's jealous or something.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Vidya.
She's Vidya. You know the way Hank Hill says video, like video games, video games.
No, sure, yeah.
So yeah, there's Vidya. Or we could even get into maybe when Tinkerbell finds her long lost sister Periwinkle, and maybe we can have that that whole plot line, or we can have the Never Beast, and apparently the Never Beast is supposed to be part of some terrible event, but Tinkerbell befriends him and is trying to prevent the terrible event. I don't know what the terrible event is. Maybe it's like the apocalypse. I don't know. So yeah, we have plenty to work with here. Thanks for
Question:
expressing interest.
Since this is a nautical ride, will we be including Zarina, the pirate fairy, as voiced by Christina Hendricks?
We absolutely could do that. And we could have Captain Hook make an appearance, as he does in the films, voiced by Tom Hiddleston.
Well, now you're making it sound too good.
That's a fascinating casting for Captain Hook.
See, I thought about bringing Rick Moranis all the way down, but I was like, no, that would make this too good. Rick Moranis fucking owns. I just want to, real quick here, give one stump for The Wild, as I have become fascinated by it in its journey. It was nominated for the 2006 Stinker's Bad Movie Award for Worst Animated Film, but it did not win, meaning it was not the worst animated movie of 2006.
Exactly. It deserves a ride.
Yeah. And as not being the worst movie, animated movie in 2006, totally right worthy. That would go to Dougal.
Dougal?
Yeah.
Oh.
Never heard of it?
No, me neither.
But has a stacked cast, and like William H. Macy, Kevin Smith, Jon Stewart, Chevy Chase, Whoopi Goldberg.
Ian McKellen?
Just f***ing awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're learning a lot today.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't really have any more questions. I don't even know where to begin with some of these. What are you guys feeling?
I have one question for my friend Eric.
Yeah.
Well, actually, two. Do you really want to get a Honey, I Shrunk the ride in the park somewhere? Because I remember you also mentioning this for the Haunted Mansion. Like that, will most of this ride be just grass?
Yes, but with some jump scares.
Oh, I like that.
Like with like the snake that like, and I'm talking like we put like a lot of money into the snake, so it looks fucking real as shit. Like the money that goes into the very few animatronics that there is substantial. So like, this snake comes out. And like it's just like fully like realistic. You can see the venom dripping out of its fangs, and it just shoots out of the grass without any warning, and scares the shit out of everybody, and then just kind of slithers back. And the same thing happens with like a spider. So I think everything that happens is really genuinely fucking scary. And there's no warning, and there's no like warnings before the ride either. You have no idea what you're getting yourself.
I Truck the Audience film they did.
Yeah, I know, which was surprise. It is, because there was the snake bite in that one too.
Yeah, and it was just terrifying.
I also like every time I went to see the 3D, like that 3D movie, which is honestly way more times than any human being should have. I would always take my 3D glasses as like a 13-year-old and like scoot them up to my forehead when I knew the snake was coming. So I didn't have to be terrified every time.
Aww.
Oh, Eric, little bearded 13-year-old Eric, sliding his glasses up on his face. And then the employee that he was hitting on sees him and laughs at him. Oh, what a sad story.
Yeah. My teenage years were a sad story.
Still waiting for that story.
Eric, you're not a
to have
teenager
happy ending.
Yeah. So much unrequited Disney love. That's okay. Brock, I have a question for you. Why
Yes, sir.
are you the worst person?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Next question.
Oh, I have a question for Brock. How does this fit into Adventureland?
What's that?
How does this fit into Adventureland? Since that's part of the pitch idea now.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does
We're
it
going
fit?
on it. It's the opportunity of a lifetime for Disney guests like you and me to head on a real adventure across the 7 seas. Could be to the Bahamas or even the Mediterranean. And guess what? They also book cruises to Alaska. Check now at Disney Cruise Lines.
I have a question, a more serious question for you, Brett.
Yeah.
Which is, can we build in places into this ride for people to legitimately spend thousands of dollars?
Yes, absolutely. Love
while
that
on
idea.
the ride.
Sign up now
love that
kind of a
idea.
thing.
Yeah, sign up now. Like,
Well, much like on the cruise, everything gets charged to your room. And so it's just so easy for you to charge things with your little card along the way. And you don't really remember how much you've spent until after you get off the ride when it all hits you.
nice.
I do
Okay.
appreciate that I'm getting the vibe you're keeping an Anna vehicle performer who's now performing a much more noble job.
Yeah, he's a salesman.
Yeah, it's much more noble than Skipper.
I agree. He's there
I-
to sell you the premium experience.
I imagined a guy for mine. It was either like, so I had two thoughts. One, there's only one ride vehicle, and we bring in the real Rick Moranis, and he is the guide for all of them for every time the boat leaves the station. Or there's multiple ride vehicles, and they all have to do their best Rick Moranis impression.
I think that's
I don't
better
know.
and worse.
No, okay, here's what it is. There's one ride vehicle, and like 50% of the time Rick Moranis is there. Otherwise, you just have to deal with someone doing a Rick Moranis impression.
Yeah, Rick's on lunch, so I just gotta like be here. Any other questions from the
No.
gallery?
No.
I think we're good.
Nah.
All right, Tanner,
Me?
first about
Who? Me? The first Tanner?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We have so many good options here. I think today I am going to vote for the cruise line that we can spend a lot of money actually on.
Yep.
Honestly, because while Jake and Eric, your rides aren't good, there's at least some merit to them in that, like, they function as a ride to varying qualities.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Brock, you're our next voter.
I love all of these, but to be honest, with Tinkerbell in the Wild, I don't have a lot to talk about other than, ew, this is bad. So I'm definitely going to give it to Eric, who's got that great Honey, I Shrunk the Kids pitch.
Way to vote for your own pitch, Brock. I love that.
Yeah. Let's
what I
point
do.
out Brock thought was a legitimately good pitch.
Well, okay, legitimately good for a bad pitch, yeah.
I want to just take this time before it is my turn to vote to go back to Dougal for a second. Where Screen Rant ranked it number 1 on its list of the 12 worst animated movies ever made.
Wow.
So there's a strong chance The Wild could also be on that list, but just because it came out the same year as Dougal, it did not win worst animated feature.
Gotcha.
Put it out there. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
So this is a tough call. They're all very good. I love the idea of being in being in captivity for a ride sounds like a thing. However, as soon the Brock mentioning that we could spend real life money on the ride, I want to figure out how we're spending that dough. That dough. Tinkerbell is also a great idea. The franchise sounds awful. I just know nothing about it. My contribution would be to put Tinkerbell in like full construction garb and make her tinker with things the entire time. And that I don't know, it just doesn't feel right.
She's just a contractor now.
My vote is for Brock and his Disney Cruise Line. All right, Jake.
All right. Well, so to me, short and sweet, the one that felt the most jungle-y to me was the Wild, with the similar animals and stuff. So that's my vote for the Wild.
Thanks,
Nice.
Jake. My true friend.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, Brock.
Thank you. This is easily the win I'm most proud of.
As mad as it made me to listen to, I knew while you were pitching it, you were onto something pretty spectacularly
Awful.
terrible. Like,
Thank you.
Thank you. From like a deeply emotional, like core part of our being, just awful. So congratulations.
You have
Thanks.
essentially taken the timeshare presentation and turned it into a rideable experience, which I admire.
Thank you. That's what I'm here for, really.
So I guess then, Brock, would we also have the opportunity? I know this is a Disney cruise centric experience, but would we have the opportunity to sell DVC as well, Disney Vacation Club?
Absolutely. As that does interact with the Disney cruises, that will definitely be part of the ride.
Okay, perfect. So why don't you start us off, Brock?
Well, I will be honest. I really put everything I had into that pitch at the beginning.
Yeah, I could tell. You didn't think you were going to get any votes, did you?
Brock, what's the episode called? Destroy. Don't destroy it if you're not ready.
Yeah, so essentially, the general idea is we're seeing things from the ride that are going to be advertisements. Now, I hadn't necessarily considered the idea of spending money before we went, so obviously I think that's a good place to start. We could talk about ways to spend money. Obviously, there's going to be opportunities to book a cruise. That's the big one. That'll probably be the grand finale. Is I think the boat stops and it doesn't go again until someone books a cruise.
I think we start off small too. We give them little morsels, like to 10 to 15 seconds in, like up pops like a hidden compartment, and there's like chilled sodas and beverages and stuff like that. Ooh. And people are reaching for them as if they think it's just a built-in part of the experience. But the guide is like, you see those cards that we gave you beforehand? You got to use those to get them. And
well, I think this is a great opportunity to incorporate the new like My Disney app now that they're moving away from the magic bands. Is a new way where you can scan with your My Disney app your purchases on the ride.
Love that.
There you go.
Okay.
Also hate that they're putting everything on an app. But yeah, that's awesome.
No, the app's so much worse than just being able to use a magic band for things.
I don't want to be on my phone while I'm at Disney.
Yeah.
But I think we should really incorporate lots of stops to make this a very long experience for people.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and yeah, we could do stops just like how the real cruise ship makes stops at all the different islands.
And we
Different
can
ports
stop
you
at
get
all the
There's
different
port
offerings.
adventures that you pay extra for. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Like, you actually get off the ride and there's something there that you pay for.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. It's like heading to Castaway Cay. Obviously, we'll include a miniature Castaway Cay. That's Disney's private island.
Of course.
And while you're there, you can spend money on... Well, they sell postcards at Castaway Cay. What else do we have? You can buy a snorkel.
Oh.
What else do you guys think?
You don't buy snorkels at the real Castaway Cay. You just rent them.
Yeah, but obviously we can't snorkel in the Jungle Cruise, so you have to buy it.
Guys,
I love the idea you just rent it till the end of the ride, even though you can't
hang
use
on
it.
to the end of the ride. Yeah.
this could be a
Come on,
great
Brock.
place
We're trying to make money here.
to reinsert Pleasure Island. We have a stop where we go to Pleasure Island, and there's just like this banging club.
Yeah, we go to a
that's
dance bar.
Yeah, it's just
I
expensive as fuck.
If we're making a stop to Pleasure Island, although that's not particularly cruisy, what it really needs to be is slot machines.
Ooh, yes.
Like in Pinocchio, it's gambling.
Even though Disney Cruise Line is like the only cruise line that doesn't have a casino on board.
Yeah, well, that will be part of the pitch. Like, this is your one Disney cruise gambling opportunity.
One thing I think could be helpful is taking advantage of like the natural surroundings of the Jungle Cruise, like that sun beating down on people. So like making an adjustment to the boat where we remove the coverings on them and guests have the opportunity to pay to rent a parasol or something and a fan that will keep them cool on this now like 30-minute grueling adventure that I think the Jungle Cruise should turn into.
Love it. Oh, yeah, it's easily going to break 30. Also, I think the new ship designs, unfortunately, because we're basing them off of the cruise ships, they aren't going to have that roof.
Yep.
So, it'll be guests sitting in the boiling hot sun, and the ride, it won't move until someone purchases the item.
Well, I love is this idea of like, what would the side excursions of a cruise really be?
Yeah.
And then like charging people for that. So like we have like a bike ride plan for two of you, and then two people buy it, and it's literally getting on a bike and then like turning in a circle, and then you have to get back on the cruise ship, but it costs like $2,000. Like,
imagine like a 4.5 foot zip line.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you want to go jet skiing, and it's like this little baby like kid jet ski that like, gets dragged along by the back for like 5 seconds, and then you're definitely like dead afterwards.
Or a dolphin encounter, and it's just like a dunk tank with a toy dolphin in it.
It's another guy for the Jungle Cruise, the like employee in a dolphin outfit that just like comes in and squeals. Yeah, Vivian being too pessimistic here, but I think that's
that's amazing.
We should do that.
Sorry, I just got a Charlie horse in my chin.
Okay.
It hurts
How
like the
muscular
dickens.
is your chin?
Very, I guess.
Okay. Nice.
Brock, this is a Disney podcast. You got a horse collar in your chin.
There we go. Well, now I like it.
We can make a mini version of the water coaster. It's
Oh,
just
the
like
aqueduct.
a low-rent slip and slide.
And it just hangs off the back of the boat.
I'm just real quick tangent here. Now that I think we've established that we can change the name of anything to Horace Horsecollar, and Brock will like it.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. So, like, if we started calling, like, genocide Horace Horsecollaring.
Brock's like, hey, this isn't that bad.
Obviously, it's bad. But I mean, with a name like that, how bad can it be? The answer is I don't support genocide, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, we can cut that part, Jake.
Mainstream Musings never has supported genocide of any kind.
I will say at least Jake, Tanner, and Eric have never been on the record in supporting it. Brock seemed open if we changed the name.
In In the early 1940s, Hitler committed a mass horse collar.
Wow, Brock.
That
I
would
don't
change.
think that's funny.
Yeah, that would change the production of Cabaret. I saw a lot.
Oh, speaking of the production of Cabaret, how are we going to do the show experience? I love the idea of a projector screen, but now that we've incorporated stops, here's my pitch. We stop in front of the projector screen. We don't leave until the full show is completed, but people have to pay to make it start.
Well, wait, that's not how the cruise line works. You pay ahead of time, and then everything is included. You don't pay for every little thing that happens.
Yeah, can
I
we
know.
sell some concessions while we're watching the show?
Yeah, you can pay for concessions.
But
There we go.
separate.
That's it.
I suggest one way to kind of get some of these like more micro transactions in there is just like some famous rides like ET and stuff. You have to give cast members your name for it to be repeated later. Right when we're boarding this, you give your name. You just write it on a piece of paper with very fine print that says you are agreeing to any microtransactions taking place during this ride. So like we could then offer the popcorn and drinks while they watch the show, and when they leave, it has been prepaid. As Jake is suggesting.
Ooh, I love that. That's such a better idea than mine. Oh, that's so good.
So they think in the moment, if they aren't a savvy reader of contracts, that
The new Jungle Cruise brought to you by EA Games.
yeah.
Nice.
That was a video game joke.
A video game.
Vidya game.
Video.
Game.
So I think that kind of helps smooth the process for some of these smaller purchases. Obviously, we still want them to forcibly have to pay for some of these bigger experiences on the ride.
Right, obviously.
Absolutely.
Well, and then also I think that you should be, as you're leaving the ride, you are required, because this is something on the cruise ships, you are required to tip your skipper. On the cruise ships, at the end of the cruise, you are required to tip everybody that worked for you.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Your dining staff and the guy that cleaned your room, and which is fine. They deserve tips, obviously.
When you said skipper, I thought you meant like
The captain
just
of the
the
boat.
captain.
No.
I was
I meant the skipper of the Jungle Cruise. Whoever that is now. So as you're getting off, you have to tip that person.
That's
what I think you mean is the sales associate of the Jungle.
Sorry.
We call them sales entrepreneurs here.
I think you mean the
They're building their own
experience
business.
coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh, back to the show idea. It stops before the show, and then once like 50% of the boat has accepted popcorn, it immediately keeps going. So they don't actually see the rest of the show.
How's that going to get people to want to come? If we don't make them sit through the full show, Brock, how are we going to make the sale? If they don't see the end to grad night, they're not going to sign up for the cruise at the end.
I disagree, because now it's a cliffhanger. They'll need to know what happens. Well, I better sign up the cruise. I need to know what happens to Anna Marie at grad night.
Ooh, jeez. You're right.
Will she learn to become more accepting of herself?
No.
What about her brother? Will he become an artist or whatever the that show is about?
This show really hurt you, Brock, because you bring it up
really
a lot,
did.
even on this podcast. Like, grad night, for some reason, really just sticks with you. When, like, 25%
Hey, don't worry, it's not
of
the
our
only show.
podcast holds on to it, knows about grad night.
Look into my eyes, Brock. I've been there.
I know,
real.
pal. I know, pal. You got high.
For a little bit. For real.
Truly,
waited in
grad
line
night
for Big
sounds
Thunder,
terrible.
Listening to Usher.
Just awful. Yeah, so what are other Jungle Cruise classics that you think we could convert to the Disney Cruise Line experience?
How do we the people who are going to kill us?
Oh, yeah, the tribe of
The headhunters.
yeah.
They're off the ride.
Yeah, I think they were what was removed, weren't they?
Yeah, but I think we can still convert them into something that works better. But if they're gone, they're gone. We don't have to talk about them.
Animatronics of people selling vacation T-shirts.
Yeah, I was gonna say turn them into white like teens, like hot teens that are like chilling on like a beach, making it look super fun, and then selling like Tanner's saying t-shirts.
So teens are what's hot for you?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. They also don't have to be white. I was just trying to fix.
It was just weird that you specified white and teens and then turned it around and said hot.
Yeah, we all just got really quiet while we waited to see where he was going with that.
Yeah. It made me very uncomfortable and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, don't forget, this man is in his 30s.
Hey, what about like I like the idea. My T-shirt part's good. What about like animatronics of like all different races of hot 20-somethings selling
Locals from
T-shirts?
the different ports. You know?
Could work.
And they
What
could all
about
be
hot
wearing like
30-somethings?
merchandise of their flags so you can tell who they are.
Impossible, Eric. There are no hot 30-somethings. Not in marketing.
Yeah. Fair.
30-somethings have to play grandparents these days.
TikTok.
Guys, I have to weigh in. I think we have spent more than enough time on this. Is there anything else you want to get in at the last minute before we move on to the lightning round?
Just a quick reminder of the grand finale where the cruise ship comes to a halt and waits until somebody books a cruise.
Or at least signs up for DVC. I think you have to at least sign up for the vacation club.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Or maybe do an adventure by Disney. Yeah, we'll just throw all of those in there. But, Brock, how do you feel about your ride? Are you proud of yourself? I hope you are.
I am deeply ashamed of myself, and that makes me proud.
But now it's time to move on to the lightning round, everybody's favorite.
Kapow!
Spin that
It's
wheel.
ka-chow.
Oh, yeah, I should have done the Lightning McQueen thing. Yeah, you're right.
Chow.
All right, today we have another retheme in store. I know we all love our rethemes. And it's kind of in line with something that was mentioned earlier. We are retheming the Haunted Mansion. Ooh. And our retheme of the Haunted Mansion will be to Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Retheme Haunted Mansion to Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Brock, you up first.
Oh, crap. Wow. This is the worst one to be first. So we are, instead of exploring the Haunted Mansion, we are exploring the abandoned Acme factory. It seems to be haunted by some sort of toon spirit. Roger Rabbit is our ride host as he's going back, and we are trying to figure out what exactly is happening. Turns out at the end, it was the toon spirit of Judge Doom, and there's going to be a dip-fueled final encounter. But don't worry, in the end, we come out all right.
Nice. This is pretty solid, actually.
Thanks.
Yeah. Tanner.
Okay. Mine's in a similar vein, but different enough, I think. All right. So we are going to keep the Haunted Mansion scary, but we are going to move away from paranormal into the still going on but dying popularity of the Saw franchise as as Judge Doom has set up a torture chamber for toons, and each room contains a new deadly trap, cartoonish torturing a different beloved cartoon character.
All right.
Good
Closer
God.
to mine than I wanted it to be. Jake.
All right. So my ride idea is that the Haunted Mansion is actually the home of Judge Doom, and we are going to visit his now abandoned home, which is haunted by not only Judge Doom's ghost, but also the ghosts of the toons he has killed, like that poor little shoe. That's one of the most upsetting scenes in any movie. I hate that scene. But we are venturing through the house to try to find Jessica Rabbit, who has been kidnapped by the ghost of Judge Doom, and we need to save her and escape from the mansion. That is my pitch.
Cool. I like it. So, my pitch involves us starting out in the colorful world of Toonland, Toontown, and all kinds of wacky, very vibrant things are happening, and then all of a sudden the scenery starts to get peeled away by Dip as Judge Doom makes his way to destroying Toonland Town, and then we kind of go through that scene. We encounter Judge Doom and his giant dip machine and are able to foil him at the end, and that's my ride.
All right. Nice.
Wow. Nice.
All really focused around a certain character. I think the Haunted Mansion
Okay, force the
brought out
hand there.
the spooky in us.
Yeah.
And let's not forget just how scary Judge Doom is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to say that I have previously Lightning Round pitched a ride where we are the piano that falls on Benny's brother.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a dark movie. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's amazing.
Kind of like the dark side of old Hollywood, which is always fascinating to me.
I don't think it's a project that would ever get made nowadays, so I'm glad that it got
No,
greenlit
absolutely
when it
not.
did, so that it exists.
Yeah. All right. Well, nicely done, everybody. We destroyed Jungle Cruise, and then we had some nice lightning round pitches, and now it's time to hear what great thing Brock has come up with for our outro. Brock, take us away.
Boy, get excited.
I am.
Oh, look, Jake. Our Facebook is in the jungle.
Oh, you... Facebook.com/Main Street Musings.
So before the episode, Tanner made a joke about my outros, and I'm using them, damn it. The ones Tanner made up. And by the way, Tanner, look, is that our Instagram on a cruise?
Our Instagram is cruising, main_street_musings.
And Eric, look, our Twitter is in line for the Jungle Cruise.
I hope we see Dwayne the Tooth Fairy Johnson there at MSM_podcast.
And I am Brock. Everyone, make sure to give us a 5-star review. Tell your friends. And don't forget to check out our Twitter polls about our lightning round. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We're sailing away on a wonderful journey beginning today.